Hey guys, this is Jim Balance at Motorhome Rehab Ranch, and this is we're going to try something new here. As I've told you guys, I'm about technology challenged on all this stuff, and I have Ranch Hand here. Introduce yourself. By the way, when we go online, there are two rules. One, no last names protect the innocent, and I try not to cuss. It's a southern delicacy, you see, but I try not to because then YouTube dings me for that. But all right, so who are you, man?
This is Glenn. I'm in Jamestown, California. I got a 1975 Palm Beach. I got my dash pretty much all apart. I got a short and no gauge lights, dash lights, and I got a light on my PSI, two PSI gauges down here that are lit up and that
Okay.
will go out even if the car's off.
Okay. Let's do this. First of all, the hot wire that goes to the lights on that gauge,
Yeah.
follow it right now with your hand. Follow it. Where does it go?
Okay. It goes up. It's an orange wire. It goes up. It splits off. It goes. Looks like one of them goes over to my auxiliary port, where I've got two wires going to my auxiliary port. One is for my tachometer, and the other is for this PSI gauge.
Okay. All right. That one that's plugged in right there that you just identified going to that gauge cluster,
Yeah.
unplug it.
Okay.
All right. Now let me. Is that a fuse that's on that line, or what? Follow that wire down. Is there a fuse on it?
No, not right now.
Okay. Any wire that goes into the fuse box should have a fuse or something that's the size that is needed for whatever it's going to.
Right.
Now, what I'm doing is for everybody else and for you, I'm just giving you some basic stuff that is going to help, okay? So any wire that goes in there should have a fuse on it, and it should be labeled as to where it goes, okay? But see, that's the wrong place to pick up illumination. So let's put that aside for a second. Now, I want you to go up inside the dash and root around and look for any gray wire that has another wire connected to it. Take the picture and just kind of shine up in there, and you'll let them see what you're up against. Yeah, behind the dash there. Just kind of root around and see if you see anything in there that's got a gray wire connected to another wire.
Yeah, there's a gray wire that goes into this relay.
Show it to me. And drop your camera down just a little. Okay, now hold it up. Okay. That's got a pink. What other colors are going into that? Pink with a black.
There's pink, gray, and white, I think. Yeah.
Go down a little bit more on that switch. Oh no, a little bit more. There's a small connector below it. Is that correct?
Yeah, there is.
That's the cruise control.
Okay.
That little ribbon wire goes to your button on the dash on the turn signal. Yeah, don't worry about that one. Look up in the dash, like behind the radio, where the radio was.
Okay.
See if anybody hooked anything up to the gray wire. You should have a gray wire going to the heater control panel that you just had in your hand. That should go to the illumination wire.
Can I go over the top here?
Yeah, that's cool. You guys out there, I hope you can see this. You might be able to zoom in on your video and look in while he's rooting around. What we're looking for is a gray wire, because all the gray wires in the dash are illumination. Now, he says that he has a problem with his dash lights, that there's no illumination. So first thing we want to do is to see if anything else. One of the things that I've found that people do over the years is they'll hook the radio ground to the gray wire. Look at the wires to the radio and see where the black wire from the radio is going. Yeah, guys, this would be a common problem. The illumination circuit's a real basic circuit. It's just one wire. Everything's grounded, common ground. It's a common ground circuit.
Okay. You can see this, but it's coming out of this harness.
Mm-hmm.
Black wire comes out of the harness. It goes right up to this.
That relay right there with the blue wire on it, that is not original. Okay, we're going to end up taking that out of there.
Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for the connection for the radio.
Yeah, any gray wires, and that's one of them.
We got things so torn apart here. It's hard to track it.
Guys, eventually out there, I was going to have my iPad to do this, but he called up and we went real fast. So, like I said, I'm kind of in technology. Anyway, I do a lot of this. I have people out there in the middle of nowhere with their phone and they're showing me stuff.
Okay.
Let's see. There's a gray wire. Well, no, that's a capillary tube. No. There's a gray wire right there behind the radio, running right behind the radio, isn't it? A little further back. Where is? See that connector right there behind the radio? See that? What? There's a black wire on that connector. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Follow that black wire. Where does it go? No, not that one. Over right behind the radio. Has red, yellow, yeah, a bunch of wires, like a dozen wires, little small wires. That's it right there. That connector right there.
Okay.
Yeah. It should be there. There's a black wire on that connector. Is there? Follow it. Where's it go?
Okay.
It should go to another black wire.
So it goes to my
Cigarette lighter?
cigarette lighter.
Yeah, well, that'll be to the is to the black wire on the cigarette lighter. Okay, well, it's picked up right. Well, right there below that is a gray wire. Do you see it? There's a blue and a gray wire.
Am I holding it? Is this what?
Is that a plastic tube or is it a wire?
It's a wire.
Okay, where does it go? Is it gray?
It looks kind of brown to me, but
Well, I can't.
Here, control box. It looks like the fan switch. Let's see. There's my connector for my radio.
And that's why I was pulling that ground, because a lot of times people get that mixed up with the gray wire. That'll be a common problem. But yours is hooked up right.
Okay.
Where there's a gray wire right down there, right below your hand somewhere. What's it do? It should be not hooked up at all.
to my light switch on my radio.
Ah, the lights.
Light switch on the heater control panel.
Okay, all right. Well, that's true. That does another one. In other words, follow all your gray wires. Look at all your gray wires because that's where it is. Now, hang on one second. Go look at the glove box.
Okay.
You see, there's a little short fuse in the glove box.
Yeah, right here.
That is the illumination fuse.
Okay.
Is it? Does it? Can you look in it? Is it blown? Is it still good?
It should be. I tested all of them and they look good.
Okay. Well, that's where the power goes out of there, and it goes over to the headlight switch.
Okay.
From there, it goes to the rheostat. And you turn the headlight switch at dimmer, and from there it goes on with gray wires to all the lights on the in the dash.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is just mark that down on the piece of paper that you're going to follow all the gray wires and see. What you usually find is somebody tagged the wire for something. Okay, it's not like it's a short or some chinchilla ate it or anything. It's usually somebody tied in the wrong wire to something.
Okay.
So you want to look at all that. All right. Now, we're also going to work up under the past your front hood, right?
Yeah.
So go on up there. Write down what you're going to check out there. Let's go on up front.
Okay.
Well, you got that thing apart, don't you?
I do.
That's not unusual.
The UN estimates there could be as many as 300,000. Today's safe passage could allow many of them to move south.
Okay.
Hey, you guys out there, zoom in on this video a little bit. You don't need to see me talking. You want to see him, what he's doing. All right, go ahead. All right. So, let's see.
Everything blue I've replaced.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there that's aftermarket. To the right of the wiper motor,
Yeah.
to the right of that relay, that's new. Go to follow that red wire. That red wire to the right. Well, to the right. See that it goes up to that terminal up there? Or okay. Yeah, see you've got, what year's your coach?
75.
Okay, you've got your compressor up front still, right? Yeah, right. So what that relay is doing, that's your compressor relay. And that goes over, those two red wires are going over to the pressure switch. That's a fixed pressure switch. My guess is if you read it, it says 110 on, 145 off.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't used the compressor yet. It's just
Okay. Well,
valve shut.
well, that wiring, that terminal up there, that's a terminal block up there at the top there. That black wire coming over is probably, that's your power coming in, goes to the terminal block, then it comes down to that pressure switch, that opens it and closes it. Then the red wire goes over to the relay, controlling the relay. You'll probably find one of those blue wire, or a big wire from there goes over to the battery on the other side and to a fuse. Is that blue wire, that big blue wire, is that going to it?
It goes blue, and then it goes to this fuse here.
Yep. It should be a 20 amp, 30 amp.
I think it's a 20 amp.
Yeah. And that goes directly, oh, look at that. It goes directly to the horn relay. You see it? Now does it go right there? Is that correct?
Is that the horn relay?
Yes. Now, I just did a video about it. See, now, coming off that terminal where the horn relay is, find a little tiny black wire that goes over to the vehicle battery positive. Do you see it? It's a little thin wire. It goes over to the left. It's about 4 inches long. No, a little further to the left. Right behind. No, go up a little. Oh, you got a Ford starter solenoid too. Go up a little. Go up a little. Up a little. Right in to the right. To the right. Right. Come on down. Come on down. Let's see. Yeah, right up in. No, go up a little. Okay, you see the vehicle battery positive terminal? See, it says vehicle battery positive.
Yeah.
Okay, what I want you to do is come off of there. There should be a small black wire from there going over to the horn relay. Find it. I see it right there. It's got a yellow tag on it, right on the front. No, come over to the horn relay. No, I'm sorry, and I'm not seeing it. Okay, is there any wire going from the vehicle battery positive that's black?
I don't see one.
Okay.
They're all red.
Do you have a wire that goes from the vehicle battery positive to the horn relay? Yes, I do see one. See that the red wire coming off the horn relay, the second one to the left, right there. Nope, the next one down. Follow that one to the left.
Okay, that comes up to the vehicle positive.
Right. Well, what they did was they bypassed. There used to be a fusible link in there that if you had a smoke test, rather than over about 40 or 50 amps, it would melt that fusible link.
Yeah.
That's your fail-safe. They took it out. Okay, what I'd like you to do is to take that again, this is something else you need to do. Tag that wire with a piece of tape. I want you to take that out and put in a heavy gauge fuse holder with a 40 amp fuse in it.
Okay.
That way your circuit has that protection. You follow?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's another one right there. Now, right below that, you see that silver square thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That is supposed to be a battery boost solenoid. I just talked about this a little bit on a video, but somebody looks at that and they say, "Oh, well, that's a Ford starter solenoid." Well, that you have, somebody has replaced the boost solenoid with a Ford starter solenoid. Okay, it's incorrect. So, do you have a Napa near you?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to go to Napa, and I want you to tell them you want a starter solenoid, not a Ford starter solenoid.
Okay.
Just a regular single pole, single throw solenoid. Okay? It'll be a silver box about the same diameter as that, but it'll have a silver metal case, not a black plastic case on it. It'll have a large. I'm sorry, I don't have one in here with me, but it'll have a copper lug on each side of it.
I'm gonna go get my notebook. Hold on a second here.
All right,
I'm not gonna.
guys, this is what I ask him to do when we're gonna go through this, and to have a pen, piece of paper, piece of tape, so you could label stuff, maybe a Sharpie to write on them. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through stuff like we're doing. He's gonna tape it, and then he's gonna go back and check these things and get back to me.
Okay. So I just need a starter solenoid.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna find a starter solenoid. It's called a battery boost solenoid, is what we're going to use it for. Everything on the right-hand side of that unit is your engine electrical system. Everything on the left side of it is your living area electrical system. You follow? Now, on the left side of it, you see that big cable that goes straight down? On the left side of that solenoid. That big cable that goes straight down.
Right.
Follow it. Keep following. What kind of condition is it in?
Well, it's in pretty good condition. This one up here looks melted. right along here.
Wow. Where is it? Is that one going down to the starter?
Well, it goes from the battery positive to this solenoid, and then it goes from, and it's hooked up to the same thing that this black wire goes down to the positive on the battery.
Okay.
So
All right. Yeah. That's well. That's the jumper to go to put power to the vehicle battery positive. I'm not sure why that shows heat. That's kind of scary. But the first thing you're gonna have to get a new solenoid. We'll get that fixed. Okay. Now follow that long wire. It goes all the way down to the cross member on the frame. Do you see it?
no.
Follow that big wire, that heavy gauge wire on the left side of the solenoid. Nope. Over to your left, right there. There's a big. You see it?
Yeah,
Follow it down. Is it? What kind of condition is it in?
it's in pretty good condition, actually.
Now, if you look all the way where it goes to the frame, there's a metal wire tie holding that. Do you see it? Metal clamp. All the way at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
That's a real problem there because that wire gets corroded and it's right there in the open. You follow?
Yeah.
And when that thing wears through on that clamp, there's a smoke test. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So I just talked about this recently. Take a piece of 3/4 inch heater hose, rubber heater hose. Take that wire, take each one of those clamps off. Put the clamp back, okay? But take the wire out of it, okay? Then put the wire in that 3/4 inch heater hose, that rubber heater hose, as like an insulator.
It won't rub.
Right, and then tie wrap it back to that clamp. Yeah, show that. Oh yeah, people they love that. Man, I wish I had my yeah, point to that wire I'm talking about. Let them see that. Yeah, right there. Yeah, it's usually pretty grody looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, pull that off, insulate it, and then tie wrap it back to those.
Okay.
All right, write that down. That's something, guys. Everybody should really do that. That's a biggie.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Show back at the top there at your panel. Okay. Yeah, I got the standard. I mean, everybody, when you go look at your battery boost solenoid, if it's black case on it, you need to get that out of there and go. Golly, I almost had one of those things around here. Yeah, you got to get that out of there. I would tell you a percentage of everybody that has these coaches will have that problem. So don't feel like the Lone Ranger there, Tonto. All right, move up a little bit with your picture. Yeah, a little bit more. All right, now right there, that's the horn relay. And when you put that fuse in there, all of your fuse box, all of the power that goes to your fuse box comes off of that one terminal. Point to it. See that big terminal in the front of it? No, that's the vehicle battery. Over to the right, the horn relay.
Oh, okay.
That terminal right there, that all those wires are going to it, just below there. Just below it. Right there. That terminal, you're going to hook up that fuse holder from the vehicle battery positive to there. Well, off of there is where all of the power goes to your fuse box.
Oh, okay.
You see that one red wire goes over, but there's another red wire that disappears into the harness. I lost your video.
Oh.
Push the wrong button.
No, I got a call coming in.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So just understand and see, they ran that wire for the compressor off of the horn relay. Man, that's how we got over there.
Yeah.
So he was a smart guy in that he wanted to do a failsafe, but he took out the failsafe.
So I'm going to put a 40 amp fuse right.
Right. And if something happens bad, it'll pop. And you'll know it if your headlights don't work. That means that fuse is blown, because the headlights also come off the horn relay.
Oh, okay.
You see what I mean? All right, move up a little bit with your picture. Yeah. Okay. Right there, that is the dash AC blower relay to the right there. No, that's, yeah, right there. What's the left connector? Does it look like it's gotten any melt to it? Or does it look pretty good? That one.
Good.
Does? Well, usually that thing will be melted. Okay? Okay. The middle wire is a purple wire. You see it?
I see an orange wire.
Well, no, on the 3-wire connector, the middle wire is a purple wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your thumb over this picture. There you go. You see the purple wire that comes off the relay? I mean, go up. No, not down there. Right, go up. Go up to the relay. Yeah, right there. You see that purple wire? The middle wire on that connector.
Kind of hidden in the back.
Yeah, right. Well, if you follow that, it goes over to the blower motor.
Okay.
You see it?
I'm looking for something that goes this, right?
Well, yeah, look at the blower. Do this. Look at the blower motor, and there's a wire going into the base of it. You see it? You should, okay, follow that wire. And it should go to a little round silver thing. That's a little better.
Yeah, I think it comes up, it goes up into here, it goes
Yeah.
up into the squint.
Yeah, right. It comes off of the, that's right. That's correct. Well, that goes to a little silver box. That silver box can be taken out. It's a noise filter. No, right on the blower motor. It's on one of the screws of the blow. No, look, your hand is on it. Your hand is laying on it right now. That's the blower motor. Right. Now, look at the back of it. You'll see a single wire coming out.
Yeah.
Follow that wire. See, it goes to a little silver box.
Yeah.
You take that silver box out. Just unscrew it. Take it out. Write this down. Okay. Now, okay, write that down. Now don't do it now, but you're going to take that purple wire out that is connected to the blower motor. Going to take it, unplug it from the blower motor, and you're going to take it out, take that little silver box out, and you'll see that it goes directly to that middle wire, that purple wire over to the relay. Okay, you're going to replace that purple wire. Okay.
Looks like a condenser or something.
Let's say that again.
It looks like a condenser.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Totally unneeded. We're going to take it out. Now you see the screw that is connected to?
Yeah.
That screw goes into fiberglass.
Oh, right.
So unscrew it, take it out, put the screw back in. Now you'll also see down there, you'll see a black wire coming off of one of those screws. Do you see it? Like the next screw down.
Yeah, I got a black wire coming off of here.
Yeah, right. Well, is there another one?
This wire here that goes down to the frame on top of the radiator.
Okay, all right. That is a ground wire, okay? Now think about this. That wire is screwed into fiberglass, right?
Right.
And it's holding the ground wire by its tension to hold 30 amps. not right. Okay, so what you want to do is get a little short self-tapping screw. Take any ground wire that's on any of those screws, take them off, and go to another screw, put it right on the edge of that metal ring, and run it into the actual metal plate. You follow?
Okay.
Let it get good purchase to the metal plate. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So now you've got to... Also, take the ground off that goes to the metal, and I replace that little short ground with an 8-gauge wire. So it has a good ground, not just a little ground. You follow?
Right.
And then that purple wire you unplugged from the motor there? We're going to replace that also with an 8-gauge wire, preferably red, and it's going to go directly to the terminal that 3-wire connector is on. You're going to unplug that 3-wire connector. We're going to put separate terminals. You follow? Instead of the one 3-wire connector. Right. We're going to put separate terminals. So you'll unplug that into the center terminal. You'll put this wire that goes directly from the blower motor directly to that center terminal. You follow? That way it gets more current. Okay. Now there's a blue wire on that 3-wire connector. You see it? Okay. That blue wire gets a new connector and plug it back into where it was. Does that make sense? It goes over. I'll tell you where it goes, and as soon as you say I understand. Yeah. Take that blue wire, crimp a new single connector to it, and put it back up into the blower relay. You follow what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Now, if you go to the other side of the driver hood, go to the other side. Go to the driver hood. All right. Now look at the side of the heater box, the metal heater box. You see that connector going into it right there? There's about a 4-wire connector with 2 screws holding it. Right into the side of that metal box.
Yeah.
All right, that is your divider network. There are wire wound resistors in there. You see the blue wire coming off of it?
Yeah.
That's the blue wire on the other side.
Oh, okay.
So see what happens is your blower switch selects which speed it wants. Those wires come into there. There's resistors in there. It's in the blower box to keep it cool, right?
Okay.
So then it selects the speeds and it goes out on the blue wire over there to that relay.
Okay. Yeah, I had that thing out recently. I got all the acorns and everything.
Yeah, right. Well, that's where you have a fire. Because, the squirrels will make hay in there, and then you turn on your blower relay, heat up that resistor, and boom, here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so everybody should clean that, take that screw out like you did. Now, you could take the whole front of the heater box off. You see the perimeter screws all the way around the perimeter of the front of that box?
Right. I see it.
Yep, and you got the washer tank, you got the overflow tank. You take that stuff off, take all the perimeter screws, and the whole front of that box comes off. You may find you may have another family in there.
Wouldn't be surprised.
No, it's very common. It really is. So everybody at home, take a look at yours too, because that's a big deal. But that divider network, I think that Jeff Serum down in Okeechobee has one of those. Probably Jim Kanamade at Applied does also. But that's a speed select module for your blower. All right, let's go back to the other side. Okay, so you write that down on your little list there.
Okay, we're good.
All right. Eventually, and the folks know at home, I've talked about 1-wire alternators and Simlac combiner and all that. Eventually, that blue fin thing right there is going to go away. But for right now, it's fine. and we'll make it run with what it has. I mean, the question isn't what to do, it's where to stop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that normally with 35% of retention, when you go to listen to somebody, we've probably exceeded that. What do you think?
Yeah, probably.
How you doing? Well, what I want you to do is these things, and folks at home, these are just some basic things that will help. You know, I talked about corrosion on wires and stuff, along with loosening everything and wiggling and putting them back together. If you do just these basic things here, that brings you up just a little bit more of a level where we can go farther and we can start talking about one wire alternators and junk like that later. Okay? All right. So now that I've blabbed and told all this stuff, is there anything that you were wondering about? Let me get the Is there anything that you were wondering about when you called in?
Yeah. Let me go back into the code.
All right. And Ranchan's out there. This is I'm going to try to answer his questions. Kind of a little crazy you're watching me in the video, but still, sometimes I can be helpful. Okay, so I asked him to get a list of things and to be ready when we sit down and talk. We're already into 36 minutes, so probably another 10 or 15 minutes we'll cut this off so my phone doesn't blow up. But okay, what do you got?
This wire that goes to my auxiliary port.
Okay, the one that you unplugged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, when I plug it in, now my lights and everything, my dash, my light on my is out.
Yeah. No, I understand. It's pulling power from constant source when it should be pulling power from one of those gray wires.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I thought I had a bad ground here, but I replaced that.
Uh-huh.
But when and this is what it's always done, when I plug that auxiliary in,
You're listening to
Yep.
Switch from NPR.
hear that noise?
I did.
What is that?
That's your boost solenoid. That thing is not wired properly. Is it wired to some orange wires?
It's wired to blue wires. It's got 3 terminals and it's got blue wires coming off each one. One's ground, I know.
Yeah. Well, this is a good example. It's not as bad as it could be, okay? Because that's just an instrument cluster. It's probably got oil and what, voltage on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy those, at an auto parts store, and that's a good idea. To know your voltage is a good idea, and to have a mechanical oil gauge is also a good idea. I have one too. Okay, so those were good ideas, but let's integrate them later back into actually where it should be. You follow?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to suggest to you to do right now, because we have some mysteries, let's get rid of all the mysteries. Okay. I want you to disconnect and literally take out everything that does not look like a factory wire. I saw a Scotch lock up in the front. I think if you know what I'm talking about, a Scotch lock?
Yeah, that's one of these.
Yeah, all those need to come out of there, and you need to trace whatever wire those things go to, because that's not a factory wire. Do you have an aftermarket cruise control in your coach?
I don't think so. I think it's still. I got an aftermarket tachometer.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's no big deal. We can disconnect it all. We can reconnect it later. Okay. But what we really want to do right now is to get all the ghosts out of the machine. I was talking in the video. I had bought a coach for my wife, a little 23-footer. I started digging into it. I had 3 boxes of wires and 14 relays. I didn't know what they did. But when I took everything out and put everything back together, you know what happened? It all worked. It was amazing. I didn't have to worry about what all that junk was because it worked. Yeah, you got some switches there. Oh no, those are your mirrors. You'll have 3, right?
Well, my mirrors, they must have changed them. I got Remco mirrors that don't move. I got to adjust them from the outside.
Well, Okay, well, look at them. They may just be disconnected and somebody just gave up.
Okay.
Okay, because Ramco, you can buy parts for the Ramco mirrors, and we'll get into that later. Don't throw the switches away. Let's see what we've got. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But no, really, everything that you see in there, every tie wrap. Because here's the thing: if you have a tie wrap on a wire under the dash, when you pull on that wire, the tie wrap might snag another wire. You follow? So when you're up under the dash, you want to use a piece of tape. And I talked about Scotch 33 and 88 plus tape, right? Well, because it won't get gooey or, so take all the tie wraps out of there. And when you go to put something back, use a piece of tape. Don't use a tie wrap because it's got that little thing sticking out. You follow?
Yeah, I see.
You got a blue million under there.
Yeah. Well, this was all wrapped with that tape that you took. That I didn't put it on there, but this whole rat's nest here.
Where does that go? That's your here. What does that wire? Where does that harness go? That looks like your mirrors.
Over to the right panel. It comes out down at the bottom there.
That's your mirrors.
Okay.
Where's the other side of that wire go?
It comes over here to this.
Is it a connector or? Well, keep going with it. Where's it go?
It goes to these switches down here.
Okay, that's your mirrors.
Okay.
Yeah, you got electric mirrors, brother. Woohoo! But we got to clean that all up. We're going to get rid of all the tie wraps, Scotch locks. You don't want crimp connector. You see that blue one down below that's got the red wire on it? Down below, yeah. Keep going down. Keep going down. That one. That's a crimp connector. That blue one. It's your hand. Okay, that's a crimp connector. You want to have everything for right now. Everything needs all the Scotch locks need to be removed, and those crimp connectors need to be put in, whether a blue one or a yellow one. But that's a proper connection. Okay? No, the blue one below you, just below, right there. That blue. That is a proper connector. So every Scotch lock needs to be taken out. Now you got yellow ones that are a little bit bigger. That's for larger gauge wire. Okay. But that all those Scotch locks, all those connectors need to be replaced.
Okay. I got this connector. It doesn't look like it's been hooked up to anything.
Yeah, it never has. That's a buzzer. When you turn your key on, does it buzz to tell you to look at the air ride controls? Is there a red light on the dash that comes on and a buzzer?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about that connector. There's also several other little modules and stuff in the dash. We want to get rid of all those things because if one of them shorts out, it takes other circuits. One of them is the low fuel indicator. The thing's never worked anyway, almost. Get rid of that.
I got a 10 amp fuse here and to this connector. I was going to take it out because I've been going back and soldering everything together.
Well, soldering tape is best. If you've got the ability to solder, then that's great.
And I didn't know how to replace it all.
Yeah, that's got to come out of there. That's garbage.
Okay.
I don't know what that does. See, it goes over to a blue one. That's a mess. Just take your time. Nice cool spot, and just sit down and just start tearing stuff out. Get rid of everything that's not like you know that the mirror wires are good, right? You can leave those alone, but we'll redo them and rewire them. But everything else that's like the tack, just cut it out. We'll put it back.
Okay.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and end. You stay. We'll talk more, but I'm going to go ahead and end my video here because we're about 30 minutes and YouTube gets crazy about that. So, Ranch Hands, thanks for the time. If you did leave and it was a little small, well, sorry about that. Next time it'll be bigger. And let me know what you think about this format, and we'll go from here. All right. Well, thanks. Hit what is it? Like, subscribe, help me out here, and share and ranch hands. Hey, we're trying, man. We're gonna come up with something else. All right, talk to you later. Hold on.